Rebutting the Anti-Flaxseed article on Mercola. Hey everyone, Green Smoothie Girl here, Robin Openshaw. I'm a fan of organic flaxseed, especially sprouted organic flaxseed added to a green smoothie or any number of other healthy meals. And people are writing me a lot this past week or so, showing me an article published by the Mercola company. The article isn't written by Joe Mercola, and it manipulates the reader with a few falsehoods and half-truths and makes some incorrect arguments, and I'll explain why. The author of this article is a young lady in her 20s who appears to be trading free riding for the chance to run an ad at the bottom of the article on the Mercola page, where she sells a course with her sister telling you how to eat and how to live that she says is worth $3,500, but she'll offer it to you for $29 a month. So the people writing me about the Mercola article are very confused, and they come to me saying, Dr. Mercola says flax is bad. Well, I think the fact that this author learned that flax has been used to make an industrial oil, which is then used as an ingredient in paint, is an interesting fact. It doesn't have anything to do with whether the whole organic flaxseed is good for you. Saying that because processed flax has long been used to make an industrial paint product, you shouldn't eat organic whole flaxseed is like saying that because some companies make high fructose corn syrup, therefore you shouldn't eat the sweet corn that you grow in your backyard or can get from a local farmer. I don't really take issue with the author's contention that flax, when made into oil, oxidizes quickly, and that oxidized oils can be carcinogenic. Fair enough. However, this doesn't mean that flaxseed isn't, number one, high in fiber, number two, high in beneficial lignans, higher than any other food, in fact, and number three, high in omega-3 fatty acids in whole food form, which are scarce in the American diet. We get very little omega-3 and way too much omega-6 with all the seed oils. The products this young lady is talking about being bad for you are highly processed and preserved industrial oils made from flax. And while I would agree that paint is toxic and flax has been used in paint and you shouldn't eat paint or any other industrial product made with flax oil, it's a major logical fallacy to say that flaxseed is bad for you because they make paint from it. Let me give you a few examples to highlight the fundamental thinking error in that argument. Number one, organic corn is good for you, even though they also make toxic products from genetically modified glyphosate sprayed corn, like high fructose corn syrup. Number two, organic legumes are good for you, even though toxic products like Jif peanut butter and candy bars are made from the peanut legume. Number three, organic grapes are good for you, even though they make wine from them and alcohol is bad for you. Similarly, organic potatoes are good for you, even though they can make vodka from potatoes. Obviously, I could go on endlessly with examples of similar arguments, but let me give you one more. Her argument is like saying that because toxic, rancid vegetable oil is bad for you, that you should avoid vegetables. But yes, flax oil oxidizes rapidly, which is why I wouldn't use flax oil in cooking. Only if at all, refrigerated, high quality, no solvents involved oil used cold for a specific reason, such as if you were on like an uber low fat diet for a length of time and wanted to make sure you get essential fatty acids in your diet in a salad dressing, for instance, and using sprouted organic flaxseed would still be a better way to get those nutrients versus the oil. Flax oil going rancid quickly is not a reason, however, to avoid one of the most nutrient spectacular foods available to us, though, whole flaxseed. The author whose article was published on Mercola talks about PUFAs, or polyunsaturated fatty acids. But the problem in our diet is in processed oils everywhere in our food. Oils made from corn, soy, seeds. The problem is not in the flaxseed itself. I would never whatsoever suggest that you use these industrial oil products in your diet. The flax with all the studies behind it is the whole flaxseed. And to make it even more amazing, sprout it. And if you want to keep it around for a while before using it, dehydrate it below 100 degrees. And it's just an amazing food. Another issue in this article the Mercola company published that I take issue with is she speaks of lignans, which are a compound in many whole foods, but higher in flaxseed than any other. Think of them like a sponge in your GI tract. You need insoluble fiber, which is kind of like a broom, and you need soluble fiber, which is kind of like a sponge. I'm rather astonished that she links lignans to breast cancer since there are so many research studies saying the exact opposite of that, that consumption of whole flaxseed, even a few times a week, is linked to very low breast cancer risk. Astonishingly, the young lady writing the article even speaks as if lignans might be linked to breast cancer. I'll share a published study below where a meta-analysis shows lignans in plant foods to be preventative of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, lupus, bone disorders, kidney disorders, menopause, reproductive problems, mental problems, immunity problems, atherosclerosis, liver necrosis, and urinary disorders, due to the properties of lignans in flax that are anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-mutagenic, antimicrobial, anti-obesity, anti-hypolipidemic, and neuroprotective. Perhaps the author just doesn't understand that while some synthetic estrogens in the body being associated with breast cancer are very different from the mild plant estrogens of flaxseed, as well as many other whole foods, not sure how she got that one so wrong. Obviously, the toxic, cheap oil that you can buy at Walmart called vegetable oil, while somewhere way back before processing it at over 400 degrees and all the additives, it started as soybeans and corn, genetically modified and sprayed with glyphosate. That's like saying that because the plastic bottle of refined vegetable oil is bad for you, organic soybeans and corn are too. So anyway, the author of this article that the newly corporate restructured Mercola company published, her saying that lignans are related to breast cancer is just not supported by the evidence, since the exact opposite is true. Lots of studies have researched why consuming flaxseed is preventative of breast cancer and also osteoporosis and cancer. Please don't take my word for any of this. Do some research of your own. Anyone can go in the PubMed database and search on studies on these topics. Even better, search for meta-analyses or meta-study, because these studies review many studies on the same topic and give an analysis of the findings. Because you can almost always find small studies showing any food or product to be good for you or bad for you. So you can get confused. But, a lot of this is related to how much science is bought and paid for. Meta-analyses too can be bought and paid for and can curate the studies that support the agenda of whatever industry paid for the study, excluding studies that don't support their thesis. However, that is the best way to evaluate the research, is look for the meta studies. The evidence that lignans are powerful against the most common American diseases is so significant that, like, the supplement industry, it tries to do this with everything. They've actually isolated lignans and are now selling them to people in a supplement pill bottle. I don't know why we'd want to try to take an isolated compound from the flaxseed when organic sprouted flaxseed is inexpensive. It's the whole food that is proven by so many studies to be cancer preventative. Science doesn't even know how all the cofactor nutrients in the whole food work together to achieve the positive results documented in so many studies. But in 18 years as Green Smoothie Girl, there are so few things that I think are special that I'm willing to make them myself to offer to you. But organic sprouted flax, dehydrated below 100 degrees, is just a great food. So we have been making this for many, many years because a scoop of it in your green smoothie is filling. It's incredibly nutritious and high in fiber. The omega-3 fatty acids are something your cardiovascular system and your nervous system need every day, and they have to come from food. And working with flaxseed yourself at home can be frustrating because when you soak it to sprout it, it gets thick and goopy. So not many people want to soak and sprout it. Even fewer want to dehydrate it at a low temperature. Nothing wrong with trying that and doing it yourself every day and then throw in the goop in the blender with your other ingredients in your smoothie. But we dehydrate it at a low temperature to avoid killing enzymes. And then we seal it in a Mylar bag so that it lasts for years in your food storage without oxidizing. No processing, no chemistry involved, no extra ingredients added. Anyway, the one thing I agree with this author published by Mercola about is that you shouldn't eat the industrial oil product made from flaxseed. If you use any flaxseed oil at all, let's say if you have an omega-3 deficiency you're trying to address and you like to make your own salad dressing or use it on a baked potato instead of butter, you want to use only a refrigerated cold pressed flax oil by a good company like barleans and in limited amounts, and you do not cook with flaxseed oil. It is for cold use only, like in a salad dressing. And after a year, honestly, I wouldn't use it even if it had been in my fridge. Or better yet, always better yet, just use the whole food, use the organic flaxseed itself. And thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.